Pokemon Go, it really took the world by surprise. Something like 5 years ago, I suppose. Perhaps you are a hardcore player, I am not. But what is relevant at this point is the technology that is behind Pokemon Go. And at its core, the technology is called AR, Augmented Reality. And this Module 10 is about how this technology can be used for logistic purposes. So let us start. So the learning goals, first of all, is for you to quickly understand what is augmented reality and also the different types of technologies that create this enhanced reality. Lastly, we're going to explore some of the potential applications that they can be used for logistic purposes as the ones we get to see here. So let me show you what augmented reality is. It's basically an expansion, an enhancement of the real world. Just like in this case, we have a phone, we have the reality, the store, and here we get additional virtual information telling us about denim discounts and full winter kit, and who knows, maybe a Pokemon that is hiding here behind these clothes. So the information can come, of course, in the form of text, graphics, video, but also sound, haptic feedback, so really tactile, GPS data, and even smell. So the basic tasks of this technology are four. So the first is the capturing of the scene, of the reality, so we can use the camera. Number two, the identification of this device, either by using positioning, that means identifying by means of GPS, sensors, or laser. The processing of the scene, so that the virtual content can be requested from the internet or a private database. And lastly, the visualization. So that is really the enhancement. And of course, that happens at speeds that are instantaneous for our experience. So the AR system produces a mixed image of the real space as well as the virtual content. So these are the four basics. And this is just one of the different types of devices that can create this. So that's one among a list. We're going to explore quickly these 6 different devices. So let us start with the first, handheld devices. So these are smartphones, tablets, easy to use. Everybody's having a smartphone, or almost everybody. So that can be said as a pro or advantage. The cons is that you have to hold the phone on your hands. So that is not really, you cannot have it the full time, the whole day. You cannot hold it. You will get tired, I suppose. So you don't have a hands-free AR experience. So another type of technology is the so-called stationary AR. So these are stations, as in this case, this Lego store that is having a stationary AR with a camera. You bring a product, the camera will read that, identify the product, and will recreate in 3D the item you're supposed to build. And if that item is having some Lego people, well, the Lego people will be here running around and doing whatever they are supposed to do. So that makes it very popular among kids and also grown-ups. You might find a waiting line here at the Lego store. So it's a very nice experience. This is a stationary AR, and this is the point of sales, basically, at the last element of at the retailer. We can also have in production the so-called spatial augmented reality or SAR systems. These are these are projectors. So we are projecting, enhancing the reality of a real object, a 3D object, and then we are enhancing it by adding some kind of information. In this case, we see looks like what's that? A Volkswagen T1 or Touareg, and you can see the structure, the inner skeleton of the structure, maybe with different materials. And the same technology can also be used for medicine students, in which you can also project the organs, bones, and the person can rotate, the organs will also rotate. So these are digital projectors. They display graphical information onto physical objects. That's another augmented reality technology. We have the very nice head-mounted displays. Maybe you have experienced this on museums. Some museums, they already have this. So you wear a headset. It's not virtual reality though. It's an enhancement of the current reality. So, but you have a hands-free experience. Yeah, so also important to mention. Lastly, well, we have smart glasses. We have here a policewoman. It looks like it is in China, because China was one of those first places that adopted this technology. The whole idea is that there is a facial recognition of individuals, and this is linked to a database so that these police can identify who you are while you are walking. So they don't need to profile you based on your looks. They can profile you based on data. And of course, they can decide what to do with you. That makes it already very controversial, very kind of big brother is watching you. Some of the companies behind are the ones you get to see here. Most famous is Google Glass. You might remember that product. It was not successful. Why was not successful? And the question is, are they going to roll out a new version of the Google Glass? Google for sure is working on that. And Google is also working on a more sophisticated version called smart lenses. Smart lenses are just like Google glasses, except that they are flexible contact lenses. So now you wear them directly on your eye. Hundreds of integrated LEDs are feeding you with information, with enhanced visual information of that reality. So these are worth mentioning. These are in the pipeline. So because of the excitement of this technology, a lot of people foresee some potential applications, and these might include warehousing operations and also planning of the warehouse, transportation optimization, delivery, and enhanced value-added services. Let's just explore these four. Warehouse operations. We talk a lot about these subsystems of the picker, that person that is collecting the items from an order. Usually we have people wear some headsets and they get instructions on audio. There is also pick by light, and there is also now the pick by vision. So you get real-time object recognition. So the employee is wearing a headset, so you see it's hands-free, and is navigating through the warehouse. These devices might tell the employee where to find that item. It might also read that item, might have a reader, and that information will feed up the warehouse management system and eventually the MRP system, so that the status quo of your stock gets updated on real time. And this can reduce picking errors and search time. This can be mentioned as benefits, but of course, there are some cons or disadvantages. Think about it. Put yourself in the shoes of this worker for 8 hours wearing this. Let's just keep that open. You can also use this for the planning of the warehouse. So you might want to relocate some of the shelves and pallets. So instead of doing that physically and running a pilot run, you can do that virtually. So this is very attractive. So you can create a mixed reality simulation, see if that works, do some modifications, and relocate and simulate it again. And everything at a very low cost, because you don't really need to physically move your items. Everything is virtual. So that is warehouse planning. We can also apply that on logistics for transportation optimization. So we have our truckers, our drivers, that they get information beyond just the usual GPS system or navigation system. Now they can get information of the lanes, where they are, especially if you are driving in, I don't know, Alaska, and then you don't see the roads. Here you have an assistant also measuring how far you are, or you should be, from the next truck, considering your speed and considering the weather conditions, so that you have enough space to brake. So you can also get a visual of your current status in the complete route, what is ahead of you. Maybe there is a storm, some warnings, so that you can plan your trip. So this is basically a superimpose of critical information and surroundings on your daily driving or on the trucker's driving experience. Again, there is a lot of added value, but keep in mind tons of information that goes on top of what it takes to drive a huge truck or lorry. Okay. Lastly, we have the secure delivery. And very often, many packages are delivered to the wrong person, and that person even signs this tablet, and everything seems to run in order, but no, it's not in order, because the package is now lost. So now you can have a secure delivery by means of a facial recognition, as if the employee would wear something equivalent to the Google Glass. A customer opens the door and facial recognition occurs. The person can be recognized by capturing his face or her face and linking that face to a database. The database could be Facebook, for example, and then it can confirm that indeed that is Chuck Bennett from Rochester, New York. And by the way, that's his email address, in case you want to know. Now, of course, due to privacy issues, this is a very controversial technology. Who knows, maybe in some regions, in some countries, it's not a big problem. In some others, it will be, just like Google Street Maps. So it's just a potential application. It's not yet there, but people are analyzing it. So these are all the different type of applications in a nutshell, just to show you a bit of the experience, how it works. Here's a video. Okay, so augmented reality, a tool that can turn every worker into Iron Man or a device of torture. That's your decision. Thanks a lot once again, and bye-bye.